What's up? Ghost Fictions is here. This is a story where Izuku had a harem with Yandere girls. After receiving an anonymous love letter with a special gift with it, Izuku Midoriya is going to investigate all of his female acquaintances in order to find the writer of the letter. During his journey, he discovers things about them he wish he hadn't. Dark, dirty and lustful desires these girls were hiding. Who could have known girls could be that perverted? But before we start, please consider subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Don't forget to check the description for more informations. Now, let's get into the story. Izuku Midoriya. Some would say he is cute, others would say he is nice and kind, some even say he is one of the most helpful students from the second years of UA High. That was what Izuku thought, that was the only qualities people around thought of him, until today. From all the boys that girls would crush on this school, and all the qualities his colleagues had and he hadn't, he truly did not expect to find a love letter inside his locker in the campus. Of course, most boys would stay happy that a girl likes him, but to Izuku Midoriya, this would happen to be a prank. This happened once in the past, when he was quirkless. He once received a letter in his locker in Yandere Junior High that a girl loved him. He went to the place the writer told him to go in the exact hour it was supposed for them to meet. Turns out Katsuki Bakugo and his lackeys appeared, made fun of him, and threw him on the trash can, saying no girl would ever truly love a quirkless piece of shit like him. Any anonymous love letter he would receive, he would consider it just a tasteless prank, but this wasn't the case, because, alongside the pink and white girly paper, was a white, elastic and soft piece of clothing. Midoriya's blushing red face immediately recognized what he was holding in his hands. Panties. Izuku screamed in pure shame, calling the attention of a blue-haired friend next to him. Midoriya. What's wrong? Tenyuida stared at Izuku with a concerned face. Izuku Midoriya took time to respond his question. In fact, he was currently focusing on hide the white underwear from Iida, because, if one thing was certain, a boy would not put panties in a love letter to prank someone, not the one he found, because a prank like this could result in an expulsion after all. But if it was really a girl who put her panties in the letter, she could also receive a harsh punishment for putting intimate underwear into a boy's lockers. That's exactly why Izuku Midoriya was hiding the panties behind his back. It's nothing, Iida. It's just. I really felt the urge to scream B because it's a really nice day to study. Isn't it? Tenya stared at Midoriya's eyes with precision, like he uncovered he was hiding something and acting suspicious. Well, if that's how you feel, then great. Self-esteem and confidence are more than just enough to make any school day worth. Keep yourself like this, Midoriya. Just don't scream like that or people will think you're crazy. Sure. Tenya grabbed his books and left, leaving Midoriya by himself at the lockers. Taking the opportunity, Midoriya put the panties in his school uniform pocket and opened the envelope. Dear Izuku Midoriya. You may not recognize me from this letter, but I'm pretty sure you know who I am. I have been in love with you for a time now, but I couldn't bring myself into telling you. I tried to resist telling you, but I loved you so much I couldn't hold myself, so I wrote this letter and stored it into your locker. I hope we meet one day, and please appreciate the gift I also gave you alongside this letter. Cheers, your secret lover. Izuku Midoriya was trembling in shame. He just received a love letter. And this time it was a real one. A girl really loved him this time. Izuku had a huge smile on his face, one that could even match All Might's confidence. His self-esteem was skyrocketing. Izuku packed his things and entered the classroom, making sure he hid the letter and the underwear safely so no one could see. Midoriya. You're 2 minutes late. Don't waste your raised self-esteem and try getting into the classroom on time. Sorry, Iida. Izuku made his way to his seat and calmed himself down. His heart was beating loud. Was this love he was feeling? Wait. How can he be in love if he didn't even know who was he supposed to be in love with? Izuku observed the surrounding people around him. Who could be the one that sent him the letter on Class 2A? He analyzed each female face around him. The people of Class 2A consisted on the same people on Class 1A. The only thing that changed was their seats and homeroom teachers, although some of them still give them classes. For example, the one who just entered the class. Shouta Izawa. Please shut up and let's initiate the class. The grumpy teacher said. All students then remained onto their seats quietly. As class started, Izuku Midoriya failed in paying attention to the teacher. He had something important to take care about. Analyze his female classmates and discover who was his so-called lover. First candidate. Momoyae Rozu. The current class president, switching positions with Tenyuida in comparison with the last year who is now currently the vice president. The second year features a student council that includes her and more 2 female classmates. She is most of the time a correct and polite girl. I never actually talked to her much. I don't see how she would do something as leaving her panties in someone's locker, but there still is a possibility she hides her true self. Second candidate. Sayu Asui. The friendly frog girl from this class, as she is traveling through puberty, she has gained a lot more curves. What am I thinking? and became taller. She is nice to everyone, even Minoru Mineta, who despite being hit by her all the time, she is still nice to him. Sometimes. She is calm and isn't shameful of doing anything harmful towards others. She also restrains herself from offending others. She also knows the consequences of her actions. I also don't see how she would do something perverted as giving her panties over to someone. Not when she isn't someone that is afraid frequently, because if she was to love me, she could say it with no problem. But since she hasn't shown any effect to romance here, there might be a chance she doesn't handle herself when talking about romance, so she didn't know how to admit her feeling over me if that was the case. Third candidate. Toru Hagakure. The most girly superhero in training in here, since she is completely invisible, it is impossible to see her facial expressions, so she uses body language with her clothing instead. She is addicted to romance, but I don't see how she could get a crush on me. In fact, we haven't ever had a real talk yet. But in comparison with the other two candidates, the possibilities here are more than possible. Fourth candidate. Mina Shido. The pink-skinned girl who is really energetic, she has no shame at all, and she is good at teasing and being somewhat funny and nice. She is really curious when it comes to romance. I never spent time with her, so I don't see how she would have a crush on me, but doing something as perverted as putting her panties into someone's locker to make a proposal is way too insane for her, I think. I also can't picture her being afraid of admitting her feelings over for someone. Fifth candidate. Jiru Kyoka. She is most of the time quiet and spends most of her time listening to music or talking to yaoi rozu. She has great taste for rock and some bands I don't know about. She never shows any affection to any boy I know. She also isn't the very romantic type. And I don't think she ever would do something as insane as giving a boy she almost never talked to her panties because of her feelings. Sixth candidate. Ichako Uraraka. She was like the very first girl I talked to here at UA. She is a loyal friend to me, and I don't think she has any complex feelings for me. I talk to her and Ida every single day. Even if she has a crush on me, it is possible she would give an anonymous letter, so she couldn't reveal herself. But seriously, I totally don't think she would leave her panties within my grasp. But I totally can't exclude the fact the writer could be outside of class 2A. Izuku finished his intense trail of thinking. Luckily this time, he didn't mumble out loud. Well, that's for the morning classes, see you in lunch. Aizawa grumpily said as he left the class. Izuku Midoriya got up from his seat and started to pack his things. Most of the students already left the classroom, except for the green-haired hero and two others. Afternoon, Midoriya. Yaoi Rozu said as she stood behind him. What Yaoi Rozu Midoriya yelped. My apologies, did I scare you? She asked a quirk inheritor. No. Is there something you wanted to talk about? Midoriya said. Well, I've noticed Ida telling us about you. Excessive self-esteem. Did something happen outside of class? She asked. She's trying to investigate. That means she's curious. This conversation might raise the possibilities of finding the writer. Well, it's nothing to worry about, really. I see. It's because I thought it was weird that, despite the fact you were somehow excited, you didn't pay a single attention to class, and you are not the type that stays dispersed during class. Momo added. Gosh, she really is smart. I think she may even be capable of analyzing a situation better than me. I'm pretty sure that you don't need to worry about that. Really? I mean, from what I observed, you were looking with special attention to the girls of our class. Looking to them was that obvious and noticeable? I doubted. This is obvious. She must be jealous. Izuku Midoriya realized. Well, I mean, you know I'm not a perverted. I'm not looking at. I know you are not a perverted Midoriya, not like that purple bastard over there. Yaoi Rozu looked back into the purple-haired bastard that was packing his things. Hey, I heard that. Mineta yelped. And you were meant to. Momo replied. As we were saying, Midoriya, I also would like to see you after lunch, so please remember to go to the student council later. See you. Yaoi Rozu said as she left the class. It's her. Midoriya accidentally said out loud. Luckily Momo didn't hear it. But the perverted hero heard that words clearly. Oh. So our harem protagonist finally made his choice. Minoru Mineta said as he approached Izuku's back. What? What are you talking about, Mineta? Izuku rapidly turned back as he saw the dwarf Grape Gum staring at him with his eyes staring steadily into the green hero. Well, didn't you just scream it's her? Like you totally want to lose your virginity with her? Mineta stated, making Izuku blush a lot. And no. That's not what it is inevitable, Midoriya, your teenage hormones are invincible. I can tell by just looking at your eyes, what virgin boy wouldn't want to lose his virginity with that busty Yaoi Rozu? Little did they know Momo Yaoi Rozu was listening to the talk from behind the door. Izuku Midoriya stared at Minoru Mineta for a second and realized he knew girls better than anyone from his classroom, perhaps he could ask him for help. Mineta, I think I need your help. Ho ho. With what can I help you with, harem protagonist? Izuku took a pink paper out of his jacket and showed them to Minoru. I received this early today. Mineta was reading the note, completely stunned by the words that were written. Oi. Midoriya. Mineta's eyes were covered by shadows. This is obviously fake. It is an obvious prank that people are making to you, and what gift did this scammer give you? Well, Mineta, I thought it was a prank too, but if you check this out. Midoriya pulled something out of his pocket. It was white, elastic, and soft. Mineta's speed at recognizing what that was rivaled 15 times the speed of sound. I wouldn't think a scammer would put intimate clothing in my locker, especially if we're in school grounds. Hand it over. Mineta grabbed the panties at the speed of light, analyzed it, stretched it, and even smelled it, making Izuku have a face of disgust. Yup, these panties have definitely been used before in not such long time. You can tell that, so let me guess the situation. You think the one who used this panties is Yaoi Rozu? Why yes. I wouldn't be so sure. This may fit in Yaoi Rozu, however, this does not fit her measures entirely. So, it's not her? Who know? It could be, but the reason she got jealous at you staring at other girls is a complete mystery to me. So, what should I do? Right now, eat and restore your powers, then, talk to her. Talk to her how? I mean, it's impossible. I have no mastery over talking to women. And what am I going to tell her? To wear these panties, of course not Midoriya. Unlike me, you are a complete honest and respectful person. Well, this serves too. But, you have to engage with her, conquer her respect and then inherit her trust, and to the final step, you give her the alright. I get it. I'll talk to her after lunch. That's the spirit. Now. Good luck Midoriya. Thank you Mineta. Mineta smiled and gave him a thumbs up. Izuku Midoriya made his way to the door of the student council of the second years of UA High. It was time to engage with the woman that loves him. The green-haired hero gently opened the door. Sorry for the intrusion, Class 2 Izuku Midoriya. I'm glad you came, Izuku. Please, have a seat. Momo Yaoi Rozu, who was sitting down in her chair of the head of the student council. As she addressed me by my first name, then this is it. She must be the writer of the love letter. Midoriya thought as he entered the room. Is there something you wanted to talk about? Momo, I mean, you addressed me by my first name didn't you? Then wouldn't it be fair if I who said you could address your master by her first name without her permission? What? Master, what are you talking about? Yaoi Rozu. Well, that was what we would talk about. You see, I have been holding this certain desire for long now. Yup. It's her, but I'm not sure about that master part though. Izuku thought. My entire life, I've lived in such rich life, but I never fulfilled what truly being rich was, because of democracy and human rights, slaves were forbidden. What is she talking about? Izuku thought as he looked at Momo's eyes that were looking completely lustful. And, me, Momo Yaoi Rozu, who come from a rich family, can't suppress my desire for dominating. I always dreamed of one simple thing but hard to get. I don't like where this is going. Izuku thought as he was widening his eyes. I've always wanted a slave, but my parents would never get me one, so I had to attain one by myself. I wanted to make you my slave by asking you to be one, but then, I discovered your lustful desire for girls. Yaoi Rozu. I think you have the wrong idea, and that discovery lent me the ability to blackmail you into being my slave. Yaoi Rozu's mouth opened. Izuku saw her mouth drooling in lust. By that point, Izuku knew this wasn't any Castle student council talk anymore. This Momo Yaoi Rozu was not the girl that loved him, it was a perverted woman who wanted to enslave him. What kind of proof do you have? Izuku Midoriya's voice raised as he stood up from his chair. Who gave you the right to raise your voice against your master, slave? If you keep that behavior, I'll have to leak out these images. And I'm pretty sure you won't be able to explain yourself after this. She handed him over some pictures. There, it showed him giving Minoru Mineta the panties, where he smelled it and played with it. Well, Izuku, you might be able to get a lighter punishment for cooperating with a perverted like Mineta, but that purple scum would get expelled for that, and from what I know from you, is that you wouldn't want that to happen, would you? Crap. If these photos are leaked to the principal, Mineta's future pro-hero career, and possibly mine too, would be ruined. What would All Might think of me? Would I be able to convince him that was the wrong idea? Izuku desperately thought. Well, since I know this is a lot out of sudden, I'll give you time to think about being my slave. If you refuse, I suppose you will have to say goodbye to your pro-hero career. Why? Why is Yaoi Rozu acting like this? She is striving to become a hero, not a perverted. She shouldn't allow her fetishes to get in front of her future career. But again, if I refuse, then I'll have to explain that photo, and I don't think I'm that good in convincing people about that. Izuku's dark green hair shadowed his eyes. He knew it, he didn't have a choice unless become his classmate's slave. What kind of hero would he be if he was being dominated by a girl? No, if he wanted to keep himself out of trouble, he needed to play her game, and then, he would break free of her dominance. Right now there was only one thing he could answer. I. Momo's lustful eyes grew larger as her face got more pink and her smile wider. I. Say it, Izuku. You will be my slave for the rest of your high school life. Serving my desires and deeds. It has been a long time since I haven't felt this kind of lust toward someone. Yaoi Rozu thought as her mouth was drooling. I refuse. Izuku's face turned completely stern and serious. It was the face of determination he does when facing a villain. What? You heard that right, Yaoi Rozu, I'm not becoming your slave. What kind of hero would I call myself if I get dominated by my classmate to fulfill her own selfish desires? You know what could happen to you, right? Yes, I know, and a hero must be ready to face any sort of danger ahead of him. I'm not afraid of what can happen to me, I'm a hero. I will overcome any challenge that blocks my way. If you really think that can bring my hero career down, take a look at the mirror, Yaoi Rozu. Do you even realize who you are right now? You came to UA to become a hero, someone who people will look up to you. Momo's hair shadowed her eyes, she started to become ashamed of herself, and she had held her lustful desires for more than just a full year. She wanted to become a hero, not a perverted, and even worse, turning her classmate into her slave. What would her family think of that? If you insist on turning me into your slave, go ahead, share these photos with whoever you want, and then come back to me 2 years later and try to call yourself a hero. I dare you. Right now, looking at you with my very own eyes, the only thing I see in you is a female version of Mineta. Momo Yaoi Rozu's eyes widened in shock. Izuku Midoriya walked away and opened the door of the student council, and then, he looked into Momo Yaoi Rozu straight in the eye. Yaoi Rozu's eyes were looking to the side, now she looked like a completely normal girl, one that could reason, putting aside her own desires and look at others' point of view. She was ashamed of herself, and Izuku, he may have been too harsh with her, but he doesn't hate her. He didn't like seeing her like that. Hey. Izuku's eyes calmed themselves and looked to her with kindness. Momo didn't respond, she was cringing too much to apologize. I won't tell anyone about your fetish, relax, after all, it's not your fault you have it anyway, anyone has their fetishes after all. Her eyes widened in shock. I strive to be a hero that helps everyone, and that everyone shall include you. I want to help you with your lustful desire, Yaoi Rozu, not by fulfilling it, but by getting you out of it. You are going to become a true hero, unlike any scumbag pro-hero that only cares for money and fame. Tears dropped from the female hero's eyes. How can he be so kind to her? Even though she just blackmailed him into becoming her literal slave, he still was kind. How can someone be so pure and nice like that? She started to feel something warm inside her chest. Was this love? Was this what they call true love and not a lustful desire? If this was love she was feeling towards Izuku Midoriya, then she was happy for it. A kind man like him deserves to be loved after all. But unfortunately for Izuku, she wouldn't give up into turning him into her slave, yet. Now I must go, Yaoi Rozu, I have a problem to resolve, but if you are feeling alone, call me. Izuku Midoriya left and closed the door. One candidate was eliminated, right now he wanted to rest, after all. There are 5 more suspects. Tomorrow was going to be a long day. So, how did it went, Midoriya? Minoru Mineta asked his green-haired friend, who was sitting in his desk with a disappointed face. It turned out Momo Yaoi Rozu wasn't the writer of the letter, but a sadistic pervert, and Izuku Midoriya swore to himself that he wouldn't tell anyone about her fetish. It turns out she isn't the one, Mineta. Izuku responded. How do you know? Did something happen yesterday that I don't know about? Mineta said as his eyes showed fiery determination, making the green-haired inheritor blush. And no. And nothing like that happened. I just uncovered it. Oh. I see, so that leaved 5 other candidates, right? Who are you going to talk next? Minoru looked to Izuku straight in the eye. Oh yeah. That leaves Tsuyu Asui, Toru Hagakure, Mina Ishido, Jiru Kyoka, and Ichako Uraraka. I wonder who could be next. Hey, Midoriya, go ahead, go talk to one. Minoru screamed. Oh okay. Izuku yelped. Midoriya got up from his seat and made his way to somewhere known as classroom door. What the hell are you doing, Midoriya? Minoru called out loud. Shit. I ended up talking to Yaoi Rozu because she was the one who told me to talk to her. I have no experience in talking to girls. What should I do? I'm too embarrassed to go talk to one of them. As Midoriya stood frozen in the classroom door, a green long-haired frog girl made his way towards him. Midoriya, are you okay, Kiro? Tsuyu Asui asked as she popped up behind him. Hey Asui, why yeah, I'm fine. JJ just, are you with your self-esteem raised again? And please, call me Tsu. Yeah, that. Sorry if I got you worried, as I mean Tsu. Sure, but if you want to talk about something, you can talk to me, I'm always listening, Kiro. Thanks. Izuku Midoriya replied as he was staring at her eyes, but blushing a lot. 3 periods had passed. Now, the students of Tua made their way to one of their training fields to practice combat. They were allowed to choose the pairs with who they were going to fight against. And in order to gain advantage of that, Izuku Midoriya asked Sayu Asui to be his opponent. The combat session went well, as Midoriya taught Asui punches and kicks. Both were already tired, good thing the training period was over. Class Tua made their way back into the classroom and finished the remaining periods, but one thing was certain, Izuku Midoriya was talking with Sayu Asui all day long. Izuku could already call themselves good friends by now, and each time he talked to her, he got more interested in her. Sayu Asui was a friendly girl, but after Midoriya got friendlier towards her, she grew friendlier towards him. She told him about all sorts of stuff, and she even thought Izuku Midoriya was just a hero nerd that would only talk about All Might or some pro heroes no one ever heard of. She was wrong, very wrong. The green-haired hero was able to master the arts of breaking ice, asking her about her favorite movies, and even asking her out to a movie date without blushing or stuttering. As Midoriya looked into Asui's eyes, he knew she was, if not, the most listening and careful girl of UA. But one thing Izuku still wouldn't be able to do was discover if she was the writer of the letter. He simply couldn't bring himself into asking her this. But at this moment, Izuku Midoriya needed to effort himself into another problem. Reach the damn cinema on time so he wouldn't be late for Tsuyu. Luckily that wasn't a problem, because Tsuyu reached the mall cinema at the same time as him. So, Midoriya, I don't want to call you a nerd or anything, but please tell me you didn't buy a ticket to a superhero movie. Thank goodness I was able to swallow my pride as a fan of the heroes of feudalist Japan of Atakajuku to be able to give up on watching the new movie, even as much as I wanted to watch it. It's too much gore to show to a girl, I guess. Not only that, but I think I'm going to regret not feeling the nostalgia of the principle of Atakajuku's amazing one-liner, AN. Whoever got that reference, scream that one-liner at reviews. If you do, you deserve my respect. Midoriya, you are mumbling out loud, Asui commented. Sorry Asui, I mean Tsu. I bought tickets to that new romance movie I heard Hagakure and Yaoi Rozu talking about. Oh. I think I heard of it. I never thought I would get to watch it with a boy though. Sayu said as she blushed a bit. Midoriya's face got red as a tomato in response. Why am I getting embarrassed now? Well, I've watched tons of romance movies, so watching it with a girl shouldn't be a huge problem, right, Izuku thought, but that tons of romance movies were just action movies where the main character kissed a girl in the end. Both of them entered the cinema and sat into their seats, one next to each other. Both of the two green-haired teens had a tone of pink in their cheeks. It was going to be a nice romantic movie after all. Not even 30 minutes of movie passed and Midoriya felt something lay on his shoulder. He looked to his side to see the frog girl sleeping in his shoulder. As Izuku used that time to analyze her face, he couldn't deny it. Sayu Asui was cute as hell when she's sleeping. Midoriya now wanted the remaining 40 minutes of movie to remain forever. To him, there was no denying it. She was supposed to be the one who wrote the letter. And gave him the Izuku Midoriya stopped to think about the damn letter and goddamn anonymous panties. All he wanted now was to appreciate this moment he was having with a girl he could love, something he never ever imagined that would happen. He lived his entire life as a quirkless nobody, even girls bullied him for being weak. And now, he was going to finally be able to experience love. All thanks to one blonde stray of hair. But of course, good things come to an end way faster than expected. The credits showed up and Asui started to slowly wake up. Midoriya. Yes Tsu. I'm sorry. F for what? Exactly. I made you pay for those tickets, in fact I didn't even watch the movie at all. Kiro. Don't worry about it. What I truly loved about this experience was that I got time to spend with you. Izuku said with a great smile on his face. Sayu Asui blushed. Well, let's get going then, Midoriya. Sayu Asui said as she slowly got up from her seat. What? Aren't there post-credit scenes? Izuku asked. Of course not. This is a romance movie, those things don't happen here. But I mean, there was the possibility a new woman could appear and start a love triangle. We don't have a sequel to romances, except if it is a comedy romance, because I'm sure that won't be a new antagonist at the end. Asui stated. Well, guess you are right. Midoriya replied. Both exited the cinema, as Midoriya and Asui were making their way in the corridors of the mall. He saw Sayu Asui hug him during their walk. She stayed on his arm with her head leaning on his shoulder. She was blushing, so was Izuku. They made their way to the entrance of the mall. She released his arm and got some distance from him. Midoriya. Sayu called. Yes Tsu. Midoriya replied as he started to grow excited. Tomorrow, when we get back at UA, I want to tell you something. I have been wanting to tell you, but couldn't bring myself on doing so. Well, I see you tomorrow Midoriya. Asui told him as she walked away. Bye. Tsu. Midoriya told himself with a stern-looking face. Izuku looked up at the sky. It was dark blue, but the horizon was orange. He could even see some stars. The green-haired hero made his way to the dorms of UA. Well, Sue was heading there, wasn't she? Why couldn't they have walked up alongside each other to the dorms? Maybe she had something to do. Izuku reached the conclusion she wanted to see her parents. Since he learned she really cared for her family after all. But that wouldn't change the fact that Izuku had accomplished his goal. It's her. Midoriya screamed as he activated full cowling and started to spin himself at the speed of sound in a streetlight. Clank. Midoriya landed in the ground as he heard the streetlight falling down to his face. No. I can't die now. Izuku said as he protected his head. Luckily the streetlight collided to the ground behind him. Crash. The entire neighborhood must have heard that. Izuku said as he stared expressionlessly to the broken streetlight. Hey kid. He heard a cop screaming behind him. I can explain. Izuku said as he made a forced smile. I hope you do. What a tough night that was, even All Might scolded him after that. But today was a new day, and Midoriya was going to finally find the one that loved him. Izuku said as he entered the school grounds and went to the locker room. Midoriya. He heard a loud voice appearing from the corridors. Then, he saw a blue flash teleport itself in front of him. No running in the corridors, Iida. He also heard a bubbly voice behind him. The blue blur fell on the ground defeated. Damn it. Even though I am a strict rule follower, I let myself break one of them. I am shaming the name of UA by breaking them. Tenya Iida said as he slowly got up from the ground. Is something wrong, Iida? Izuku Midoriya asked. Yes. Definitely. What were you doing yesterday with our classmate Sayu Asui? Tenya screamed. You were with Tsuo. Chako screamed in shock, her face looked sort of disappointed or jealous. How do you know? Midoriya widened his eyes. I saw you going to the cinema in the mall with her on my phone. And by saying that I completely apologize into invading my classmates' privacies by locating their phones, but this is for the best of them, what if any of you got kidnapped? Tenya Iida screamed. Izuku Midoriya didn't respond, but kept shocked eyes looking at his friend. Why, you were in a cinema date with Tsu. Achako Uraraka said as her hair shadowed her eyes. And no. It's not what you are thinking. I swear. It wasn't a date, I'm telling you. You are bad at lying, Midoriya. Iida said with a death stare. But why do you want to know? I mean, what's wrong with hanging out with girls? You could be kidnapped by villains during your day out. We got in the dorms for being tagged, remember? Iida said. Izuku remembered. Sorry Iida, it won't happen again. Izuku lied more discreetly because deep inside, he was going to have many dates with Sayu Asui. And also, you were supposed to be studying yesterday. Tenya Death stared again at Izuku. What? Why? Yesterday was Sunday and we are not close to any test. Izuku complained. That doesn't matter. Sunday is a day to work, study, rest, and study. We are students, Midoriya, we are meant to study before week starts. Tenya screamed as he made a weird pose with his hands. Alright. Wait, are you okay, Uraraka? Midoriya looked as he noticed the brown-haired girl with some sort of peculiar face. It showed her mouth in an inexpressive way, but her eyes were flaming with anger and kill intent. What could it be? I'm fine, Deku, I just remembered I must do something before class starts. Achako stated, her voice looked like it had a demonic second voice in it. She then proceeded to leave the locker area. Any idea what is in her mind, Midoriya? No idea. Suddenly, Izuku felt the extreme urge to go to the bathroom. Crap. Why in the ninth circle of hell I need to take a dump now? Midoriya said as he proceeded to run to the bathroom, completely ignoring the screams of Iida to don't run in the hallways. He slammed the toilet door open, made sure he locked it, and sat down in the toilet as fast as he could. Damn, he really needed to release that eternal stress. He noticed someone was on the cabin next to him. Well, who could be there? Izuku. Literally lost his shit when he heard someone moan next to him on the cabin on the side, and what was scary was the fact it was female. Izuku took some time to process the idea. A girl was masturbating next to his bathroom stall. Why? Why was a girl in the male rest? It wasn't the male restroom. Midoriya's heart started to beat louder and louder. He already knew he finished his dump, now he could run away, but then, he heard steps coming from the front door. The anonymous figure in front of him was a danger. She was waiting for him to get out for her to enter. Izuku started to sweat. What situation did he got himself into this time? The next words he heard shocked him. Fuck harder, Izuku. Bam. The girl next to him was masturbating to him. Did she know he was there? Did she like him that so much, or most importantly, who in the world would be masturbating to him? Shit. Now Midoriya was sweating even more. Hey, whoever is inside this cabin, please hurry oop. He heard the cheery female voice in front of him complain. Her shadow was moving from side to side, signalizing she was jumping an urge to go to the bathroom. That voice. Ishido. Midoriya thought. And, Hagakure, I know you are there masturbating to him. Ashido loudly said. Midoriya heard the moaning sounds disappear. Hagakure, she is masturbating to me. Izuku started to have a mental breakdown. Shut up Mina. Why you know my fetish is a little more complex than that. He heard Toru scream. Complex fetish. Midoriya started to grow some PTSD. Well, I wouldn't blame you Hagakure, I also masturbate to him, Ashido said. Da bam. What Ashido too, why do they do that, with me as the subject? Oh really, then in what type of situation do you imagine him with you? Oh ho. I wouldn't tell you so easily. Suddenly, another voice entered the room. Ashido, is there something wrong? It was Tsuyu Asui's voice. Tsuyu Asui. Why did she enter the bathroom at a time like this, damn it. Yup. I'm spending time talking to Hagakure about fetishes while some girl in there won't get out. Ashido stated. Little did she know the one inside the female restroom wasn't a girl. Hey. Don't reveal our talk to random people. Hagakure said. But Tsuyu Asui isn't a random person. She's our friend. Have you ever considered the fact the person inside the restroom could hear your talk, Kiro? Asui stated. Oh crap. You are right. Ashido realized. Wait, I didn't hear the person inside make a movement. Maybe someone just somehow left the door locked. Hagakure stated. You didn't hear me make a move. I got here after you. Well, I wouldn't blame them, the UA restroom is quite large, so it can fit all type of quirks in people, so seeing someone's shadow by the door is a little hard sometimes, but now, how do I get out of here? Let me check, hey you. Are you done yet? Mina Ashido screamed. Damn it. If I answer it I'll be revealed. What do I do? What do I do? Well if she doesn't answer then I'm entering the restroom. Ashido stated crap. Ashido, by the way have you seen Midoriya? Asui asked. Oh. Speak of the devil. No, I haven't. Yet. What do you want with him? Ashido said as she made a creepy smile. I wanted to tell him something, Kiro. Tsuyu said. Well, I guess this is it, her love for me is over. No. I'm striving to become a hero. I need to overcome any challenge on my path. If I give up then it's all over. Well, good for you, now, let's see if there really is someone in there. Ashido said as she prepared to kick the door open. I'm sorry All Might, sorry Mom, sorry Gran Torino, sorry Kakin, and farewell my friends, it has been a great journey throughout our lives. Poor Izuku thought as his soul was leaving his body. But then, he had an idea. I am here. Izuku said as he copied All Might's face and made his voice a perfect copycat, signalizing his presence towards his opponents. What the fuck have I done now? Midoriya thought as he started to sweat even harder. What the? All Might, what the actual fuck are you doing in the female restroom? Mina screamed. She believed. Midoriya's soul returned into his body. Wait, if she gets out of here thinking All Might's here, then I'll be ruining my idol's image. Impossible. All Might's retired. And he is currently at the teacher's room. Hagakure said. Then who the fuck is here? Ashido screamed. Perhaps someone with a voice quirk, Tsuyu suggested. No. Think of something, Izuku, you can get out of this. I am here. Izuku repeated. We know you are, god damn it. I want to know who you are. Ashido angrily asked. I'm a girl with a very good voice quirk. Really? Then why are you copying All Might's right now? Ashido doubted. Izuku started to sweat an ocean. Because I really like him. He's my hero. There you go. This one was not a lie. Can you show us your real voice then? Ashido menaced. God damn it Ashido. Why do you have to be so stubborn? I can't copycat a girl's voice, damn it. I'm sorry, but once I have copied someone's voice, I can only speak like that for 10 minutes. Oh? Really? And how do you exactly copy it? Ashido doubted again. I have to go to that person and hear their voice, then bam. I have his voice. I was at the teacher's room the entire time waiting for Midoriya, since he always goes there talk to All Might, nobody ever showed up there, maybe because I've had enough. I'm slamming this door open now. Mina screamed as she kicked the door open, revealing the poor boy in there. Tsuyu Asui and Mina Ashido blushed at the same time. What the? Midoriya. Mina screamed. I'm sorry. Midoriya, what were you doing in there, Kiro? Tsuyu Asui screamed as her hair shadowed her eyes. I can explain. Izuku started to feel his soul leaving his body again. Better do. Wait. Midoriya's there, Toru screamed as she started to feel ashamed of herself. Oof. Alright, here we go. Izuku inhaled. Here the needed to the bathroom and in it of an stream geeks and investor pedidocubititious and desires. What? Repeat. Mina Ashido demanded. Here the needed to the bathroom and in it of an stream geeks and investor pedidocubititious and desires. Repeat slowly. Ashido demanded again. I really needed to go to the bathroom and ended up in the female restroom by accident and eavesdropped your talk about fetishes and desires. Izuku lowered his head in defeat. Oh really? Guess you are free then. Ishido said as she grew a very big smile. Really? I am. Midoriya smiled. Izuku saw a floating uniform appear next to Mina and Asui who were looking at him. Apparently Toru left the bathroom. After you do something for us. Little boy. Mina said as her eyes shined. What? Thing? I know. Toru started to jump with excitement. Sorry Hagakure, but your fetish will not apply here. Oh come on. I won't let you do anything with him then. Why not? My fetish will never allow it. What is your fetish? A religion, Izuku thought. You can't stop us. Mina told Hagakure. What do you mean by us? Tsuyu said, looking curiously in Mina's eyes. Didn't you want to tell him your objective since you entered UA? Objective? Oh wait, don't tell me, guess I have no other choice then, Kiro. Tsuyu said as she made her way to Midoriya's occupied toilet. Tsuyu Asui laid on Izuku Midoriya, grabbed his arms with her frog-like hands and immobilized them on the walls of the bathroom. She then proceeded to put her face in front of his. She wasn't blushing with shame this time, but with a face Izuku recognized. The face of a lustful girl. Tsu. What are you doing? Midoriya thought. When I was entering UA, I didn't come here to be a hero. Instead I had only one single objective, to get tadpoles. What? Izuku didn't understand a thing. If she wanted some tadpoles, then she could buy some. She was a frog. And by that, she meant she wanted children. But you are a teenager, Tsu. You shouldn't be needing children right now. Should you? No, my family already prepared the house for another set of kids. I enrolled into UA because I had to find the most suitable father. Look Tsu, I know you love me, but you don't have to do that now. I'm sorry Midoriya, but I didn't come here to marry the father, after all. What the? Tsu, look, I'm not going to get a friend pregnant and then run away. Is that what you were going to say, Kiro? I imagined. Yes. Exactly, if I get a girl pregnant, I need to have responsibility for them. The two girls behind him grew some respect for him. You don't need to worry about that, Kiro. After I get pregnant, you won't have to run away or have to be responsible for them. After all, your body is going to help me a lot through the pregnancy. What do you mean? Tsu. Mina and Toru lowered their head in apologize. After I get pregnant, I'm going to eat you so I'll have enough nutrients for the entire pregnancy. I know female frogs don't eat their husbands after getting pregnant like other animals do, but this is for the plot. What? What the fuck? Izuku screamed. Midoriya, I know this sounds insane, but this was Asui's objective all along. Even though it's murder, it's not only a family tradition, but a necessary thing to do. Tsuyu is only fertile on this stage of her life, and she has to eat the father of the kids in order for them to grow healthy. I'm sorry that it had to come to this. Mina Ishido said as she apologized. But to be honest, I would really want to see her fucking you and then eat you up. Mina said as she got a nosebleed. What the? Ishido, Tsu, you never told me about the eating part. Toru said as she looked at them in disbelief. Wait, Tsu, don't you have a father? Midoriya wondered. Yes, but I never got to meet him. After all, my mom ate him so I could live healthily. Your siblings. That's another man eaten. Oh shit. Izuku thought. That couldn't be true. After all, if he got eaten he was going to die. Tsuyu wasn't a cannibal. She saved him and Mineta at the USJ. She helped them a lot at the training camp and he was going to end eaten by her. He was All Might's successor. The lineage of one for all couldn't die in a girl's stomach. Please. Don't. I'm sorry it came to this, Midoriya, but it's your fault you became the perfect father. Suddenly a black-haired girl popped up in the bathroom. Tsuyu Asui, Toru Hagakure and Mina Ishido, what the hell do you think you are doing? Momoyae Rozu said as she rushed to the bathroom stall and got Tsuyu out of Midoriya. Having children and saving the lineage of my family. Asui responded. With my precious slave I mean classmate, so she's still with that slave thing. Midoriya thought. Suddenly, the floating schoolgirl uniform rushed and blocked Tsuyu Asui's way. Sorry but I can't let you eat Midoriya. Toru said as she blocked his body with her invisible arms. Hagakure. Thank you. Midoriya said as he felt relieved. After all, I can't let you die like that. I desired that moment in my head so much I needed it to become reality. I won't let Midoriya get killed when he hasn't fulfilled my desire yet. Toru thought. I'm going to help you win this fight, Izuku. Momo said as she created a baseball bat with her quirk and looked forward into defeating Tsuyu and Mina. Well, guess it's 3 against 2. Midoriya said as he put on his pants and got up, initiating his fighting stance. God damn it, I forgot to put toilet paper. Now my All Might boxers are going to stay brown as hell. Midoriya thought. Toru and Momo were ready to fight. Izuku activated his full cowling and initiated his fighting stance. But then. A voice message is here. Midoriya's phone notified. Midoriya grabbed his phone and opened the message box. All the fighters looked at him. The message was played and everyone listened to the voice of Tenya Ida. Midoriya. I told you to don't run in the hallways and you ended up entering the female restroom. I wanted to warn you about it, but it was too late. If I sent you a message earlier, your phone would notify your presence to all people around you, so when I saw Momo Yaoirozu asking for your presence, I told her the situation, thank me later. Now please come to class, you are late. Ida, you are truly a reliable guy, if it wasn't for you, I was frog food. Guys, don't you think it is better we get back to class and fight later? I mean, if we fight we are going to get the attention of the teachers. Mina suggested, you are right. But because of Tsuyu's actions I'll report that to the teachers. Momo Yaoirozu said as she dropped the bat. No Momo, you don't need to do that. Midoriya said. What? Izuku, but Sue. You say you didn't come here to UA to become a hero, but to become a mother. I respect that objective even though it requires my death, but from all I lived alongside you, this and last year, you have proven to me you had what it took to be a hero. To be able to put your life on the line to save others, and that is the #1 quality of a hero. Yaoirozu, Toru, Ashido and Asui looked at him with attention. Sorry to say this, but I won't be the father of your children despite being perfect for them. I strive to be a hero that save others, even people like you. Sue, you are better than this, I know, you don't have to follow your family's tradition that much, if you do that you will be ruining a great future ahead of you, you can become a hero Tsuyu. Think of that, I know you prefer to be a mother, but Izuku pointed his fingers to her. After all, you've proven to society how heroic you are, it would be a shame if you left your selfless heroic version to get pregnant and eat a guy that wanted to become a hero. Tsuyu's hair shadowed her eyes, she expected Midoriya to hate her for what she did, but instead he was being kind. Why? Midoriya Tsuyu started to cry, a river dropped from her two beautiful eyes. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. It's okay Tsu, now let's get back to class before Ida gets us. All the girls nodded and left the restroom except for one girl, Mina Ashido. Well, apparently this attempt failed, but I will get you in a perverted situation, Izuku Midoriya. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Some sort of All Might alarm clock was screaming in a room filled with All Might merchandise. In a bed with All Might sheets, a green-haired teenager slowly opened his eyes and tiredly removing the sheets which covered him. My head hurt so damn much. Izuku Midoriya thought as he slowly got out of his bed, apparently, he had spent all night mumbling, walking one way to another and talking to himself way too much on who was the writer of the damn letter. And obviously, the pictures of Tsuyu Asui on top of him flashed through his mind. And in his All Might boxers, the #1 hero has risen again. No. Don't you dare to stay up now. Midoriya said as he pressed his crotch with his two hands and calmed his morning erection. Well, waking up at 5:10 AM isn't easy, now, time for my morning jog. Midoriya said as he jumped out of his bed and changed his clothing, putting up his sports jacket and left his bedroom. The sky outside of the dorms was completely dark, not even a sign of the sun was seen, only stars and attractive night sky. After all, he decided that today he would wake up early to exercise himself. After all, he needed to calm himself down about his loved one's case. Midoriya started to run, he was now into the small forest of UA jogging, he was expecting to see at least Ida running, but there was only him and a few security guards checking their surroundings. Midoriya walked up more, he didn't know why, but he totally had the sensation there was going to be at least one student awake over these areas. He heard two female voices behind the trees. Izuku decided to approach them in silence, who could be there? People from the support class, maybe. Well, he wouldn't hesitate to see them. He peeked a bit behind the tree, and then, he saw a purple-haired girl facing the tree in front of her, and apparently, between the tree and her, was a tall black-haired girl with a ponytail. Midoriya immediately recognized those two. Jiru Kyoka. Momo Yaoirozu, what are they doing in here? Midoriya thought as he started to analyze what his two classmates were doing. Kyoka, I'm sorry, look, I know you're my friend, but I can't bring myself to go on these parties you go. Momo said while avoiding looking at her purple-haired friend's face. Oh come on Yaoirozu. I know how to dress you up well, so you don't look filthy rich and attract bad people. Just believe me and we will, Jiru insisted, but was cut off by Momo. Kyoka, I would totally want to go on a show with you, but my family would never allow me. You're way too obedient Momo. You're a teenager, so act like one and go without their permission. Jiru said. WWW without my parents' permission. Momo Yaoirozu widened her eyes, evaluating the possibility like it was something worse than a sin. After all, Yaoirozu is way too loyal to her family crack. Unfortunately, Izuku failed in continue eavesdropping the conversation. The green-haired hero looked under his feet, he had just cracked a piece of wood. And, crap. Izuku internally said. Who's there? Jiru asked. Izuku didn't hide and walked away from the tree he was hiding behind, showing himself to Jiro and Momo. I'm sorry, I kind of eavesdropped your talk. Midoriya said. Geez Midoriya, I didn't know you were a stalker. When Jiro mentioned that, Izuku's face immediately turned red. What? No. I'm not a stalker, IWW was just on my morning jog you know, and I happened to find you guys this early in the morning, so I came to see what you were doing, and I ended up eavesdropping everything. So I'm sorry. Izuku apologized while scratching the back of his head. Well Izuku, eavesdropping at your master's talk is unforgivable, Momo Yaoi Rozu, I'm going to punish you with Momo began saying before stopping her voice. What? Jiro stared at Momo. What? Izuku also stared at Momo. I mean I, as the student council president, will not tolerate such acts, invading your classmates' privacy isn't correct. Please apologize immediately, Izuku Midoriya. Momo yelled with a great blush in her face. I'm sorry for eavesdropping at your talk, Jiro Kyoka and Momo Yaoi Rozu. Midoriya yelled like a soldier while bowing many times. No, it's fine just forget it, Jiro said. This situation is more than ridiculous. Kyoka internally said. Jiro Kyoka grew a devilish smile in her face and looked at Momo. Hey Izuku, what do you think of going with me to Devilish Diver's debut in Japan today? I have a spare ticket that Momo don't want to use. Maybe we could go together. Jiro's smile grew bigger. Izuku blushed and Momo's grew some sort of angry face. Kyoka, are you really sure you want to go with me? What's wrong Midoriya? Have you never been to a show before? Jiro looked at Izuku with a concerned face. That's exactly the point. Izuku responded. Well, that this is going to be your first. Kyoka said with a smile. No. Izuku, you're not going to a party with Kyoka. Momo yelled. Why not? Izuku asked. Because the midterm exams are. Momo Yaoi Rozu stopped speaking as she couldn't think of an excuse. Yaoi Rozu, the midterms are 2 months from now. There's no need to worry. Midoriya explained, unfortunately for our hero, he's too dense to realize she's jealous and doesn't want to let her crush go in an event with another girl. But Jiro Kyoka understands a girl's feelings perfectly and she knew Momo was jealous. If she brings Midoriya with her, she will try to show up. Apparently, the Earjack hero isn't going to show to have Midoriya to herself, she simply wants Momo Yaoi Rozu to show up because she knows she wouldn't leave her unexpected crush with another girl. And, knowing how rich Momo is, she would buy a ticket to protect her territory, so in other words, there could be a chance she would have a hangout with both Izuku and Momo. Alright Midoriya, I'll meet you in the UA gates at 4:45 PM, I'll wait you there. Jiro cheered as she left the grass grounds and went to the dorms building. Well, sorry about stealing your ticket Midoriya would start to speak, but Yaoi Rozu immediately cut him off. Izuku Midoriya, we're in the middle of the week and you're going to party without my permission, as your master I won't allow you to go to such places. Yaoi Rozu, we kind of talked about that master part. Izuku said. Oh, I remember now. Momo said while blushing and avoiding looking at her classmate's face. Well, Momo doesn't want me to go to that show with Jiro, but I can't let her order me around like that. And also, Jiro Kyoka is still on my list of candidates, this is the perfect chance to investigate. I'm sorry student council president, Momo Yaoi Rozu, but I'll go to that party no matter what. Izuku thought. Well, I'll be going Yaoi Rozu, I'll see you in class. Izuku said. Sure, I'll see you later Midoriya. Momo said while blushing again. Meanwhile inside Midoriya's dorm. The lock from Midoriya's room was slowly opened by someone, the being entered the bedroom, it had a body full of curves and a shoulder-length brown chocolate hair and a round face containing pink cheeks. That invader was Achako Uraraka. The gravity girl gently closed the door and approached her friend's bed, making sure he wasn't there. Then, she jumped into his bed and lay there, taking a deep smell of her friend's past presence in the messy all-night bed. Deku. I love you. I love you too much, but I can't bring myself to tell you, but I need to overcome my limits, and just like UA says. Plus ultra. After all, this is the perfect opportunity. Achako interrupted her trails of thinking and grabbed her phone out of her pocket. Good thing Iida has this strategy of locating you, after all, your encounter with female acquaintances has doubled since last week. Achako said as she opened a diary on her phone. First abnormality. Izuku Midoriya spent 20 minutes more than he used to on the student council room with Momo Yaoi Rozu. Chances of execution 15%. Second abnormality. Izuku Midoriya went on some sort of date with Tsuyu Asui. Chances of execution 80%. Third abnormality. Izuku Midoriya spent too much time on the female restroom with Mina, Toru, Asui and Momo. Chances of execution 150%. Fourth abnormality. Izuku was alongside Jiro and Momo really early in the morning some minutes ago at the grass field. Chances of execution 45%. The people I'll be mostly tagging will be Mina Ashido and Tsuyu Asui. To me, they look really dangerous and somehow harmful to my dear Deku. Achako though as she continued to look at her crush's ceiling and rest on his bed. Achako Uraraka decided to locate Izuku Midoriya again, and this time, she totally didn't expect to see that his marker was coming to his bedroom again. Shit. Uraraka internally said as she hid herself under Izuku's bed after seeing some shadow under the door. The door opened revealing the red shoes of Izuku Midoriya. I didn't expect him to appear so soon, what is he doing in here anyway? Achako thought while hiding under Izuku Midoriya's bed. Achako started to observe Izuku. The green-haired hero sat himself on the chair of his desk, where he leaves a computer and his notebooks. Is he going to write his quirk notes at literally 6 in the morning? Is he that determined? As expected of my lovely Izuku. Achako thought while observing Midoriya, and after some seconds passed, Izuku left his desk and opened his dorm room leaving his dorm. Why did he leave so suddenly? Did he forget to write something on his notebook? Impossible. Deku has a morning jog starting around 5:30 am, and according to my Deku agenda, it got interrupted by Kyoka and Yayoi Rozu because of the presence of Momo. I thought it was some sort of discussion about the student council. After all, Izuku spent 20 extra minutes, and then, I considered the morning situation linked to Izuku's student council visit, but the presence of Kyoka, and the fact that he wrote something in his notebook and left. I'm going to investigate. Achako finished her internal explanation and made her way out of Izuku's bed, then, she went over to his desk and picked the small paper inside his notebook which he apparently left open. I see, Deku wrote some sort of reminder on his notebook, I wonder what is written on it. Uraraka thought while she proceeded to read her crush's notebook. The small piece of paper had some sort of agenda written on it. Achako Uraraka proceeded to see what was written on it. Apparently, Izuku was going to meet Jiro Kyoka on the school gate today at 4:45 p.m. Jiro Kyoka, you are going to a rock show with my Izuku. I can't believe this. I'm not going to let you take Deku from me. I'm going to tell Deku not to go. Achako thought, but before she made the plan to persuade her friend not to go on the party, she considered more. But what if Deku likes rock music and because of that he invited Jiro to go there since she is a rock fangirl? Maybe he made his way towards the grass field in order to invite her to the show rather than doing his morning jog. Oh no. I thought I knew everything about my Izuku, but turns out there's much more I need to learn. Achako thought again. Not only Achako Uraraka would try to discover her crush's tastes, but she still couldn't let another woman take her territory on her precious man. Looks like I'll have to spend my savings on that ticket. Achako thought. And, after usual Izawa lessons, it was time for lunch. Izuku Midoriya was sitting on a table alongside Minoru Mineta. I see, so you are going to see if the flat chest is in love with our harem MC. Minoru said while looking at his friend with a smile. Yup. Izuku calmly replied. Oh well, good luck, I listened to some Devilish Diver songs, they are a good band, pretty sure you will have a great time with her. Minoru explained. I see, but there's still another 2 candidates left. Toru and Achako, which one do you think could be the writer of the letter? Toru is the most girly girl in our class, she doesn't know much about boys, so I think she takes me as an example and think boys are obsessed with panties, so she gives you one to try to persuade you to like her. I thought Mineta was a bit dense and childish, but holy crap, that makes total sense. Although, even if I caught Toru masturbating to me, she still defended me from Asui and Mina. Izuku thought. But, Achako Uraraka on the other hand, spends too much time with you, and Mineta was going to explain after analyzing the area and immediately stopped speaking. Midoriya, I think you should be careful. Mineta said why Mineta? Izuku said while trembling a bit. Look at Uraraka's aura. Mineta said while pointing at the table Achako was in. Izuku stared at his first UA friend, she was sitting alongside all girls from his class, plus some from 1B, and it looked like there was some sort of angry and demonic aura surrounding her, there was something angering her. Mineta, maybe she's just in a bad mood, although I never saw her in a bad mood. Izuku tried to explain. This smell. This presence. Is the sign of a Yandere Izuku, Achako is a Yandere. Mineta said with his face full of despair while shaking the green-haired quirk inheritor's head. Look, Mineta, I'm 100% sure Achako Uraraka is not that type of woman, Yandere are crazy and wants to kill you, I already have Himiko Toga trying to take me into her grasp, and I don't think a harem can include more than one Yandere. Izuku said. Little did Izuku know almost all of his harem were Yandere. After a good finish of studying and taking lessons, Izuku Midoriya made his way back into the dorm and was going to dress up to the show, after all it is already 4:15 p.m, and Izuku had no idea how to dress to a show. What do I do? What do I do? Izuku said while searching some good clothing on his closet. Maybe I should ask someone for advice on what to wear. Does someone in my class have any idea about style? Then, a pink-skinned girl came into his mind. Of course. Mina Ishido. Oh wait, Izuku Midoriya remembered the female restroom incident on how Mina Ishido wanted to look Izuku being raped and eaten by Asui. I don't have much of a choice. I'll ask her. Izuku successively made his way to Mina, who was resting in the sofa of the girl's floor. She noticed Midoriya's presence. Oh, hey Midori. What are you doing here? She asked him. Ishido, I kind of need your help. Izuku asked. With what? I'll be happy to help my classmate with anything. Mina said cheerfully. She looked so innocent, I would have almost thought she could be one of the candidates, but I saw her true perverted self. Izuku thought. I'm going to a rock show, do you know what type of clothing to wear? Izuku was going to finish, but was immediately cut off by the instant transmission Mina used to teleport right in front of him. Say no more. Mina said with a smile on her face. Thanks. Izuku said. The two went to a clothing store nearby. And on the way, Mina Ishido started to brainstorm the situation, and Izuku, who was observing her, saw what she was doing. She was typing something in her cell phone. Izuku didn't mind and continued to face forward. It was invasion of privacy seeing that. So he stopped overthinking. But little did he know Mina Ishido was giving the information of what Izuku was doing to her friends. Izuku Midoriya is going to a rock show. I heard Jiro Kyoka was going to Devilish Diver's debut with Momo Yaoi Rozu, but I wouldn't think Momo would go to such places, so maybe she's going with Izuku then. I'm going to tell this to everybody. Mina thought as she shared the information with Tsuyu, Toru and loads of friends. And, when both girls read the message, they wouldn't let anyone take their precious green-haired trophy. Izuku's going to a show with another woman, I can't let that happen, Kiro. Asui said while looking at her phone in her bedroom. Izuku Midoriya can't hang out with Jiro. Or else he will never meet his true soulmate. Toru said while looking at her laptop's messages. In the next 30 minutes, things are about to get a little wild on Devilish Diver's show. Training to become a hero, mastering a quirk that contains the power of 8 extremely strong and overpowered beings into your grasp, being a villain magnet and constantly fighting other people. In other words, being a shounen protagonist is really tiring, that is why filler episodes are used for something. Every main character of an action show deserves to rest, hang out or have a day off. Or that's what Izuku Midoriya thought when going to a party alongside Jiro Kyoka, with the aid of Mina Ishido's set of clothing. As long as he remember, he was entering the party with his classmate, but how did it end like this? Izuku mentally screamed after seeing his whereabouts. He was in a large bedroom painted with red peculiar furniture, hearts all over the place, a pole for dancing. He was laid in a bed naked, with a girl next to him, she was also naked. Izuku started to analyze the female next to him, a young woman with long cyan bluish hair, a great set of breasts and blue eyes, and who apparently got laid. With him, that girl was the recently graduated Najire Hado, and Izuku Midoriya got laid with his senpai, and don't remember a thing. Please. Tell me I'm dreaming. Izuku closed his eyes, but no use. What is going on? Why doesn't he remember anything? And how in the world did he get laid with Najire? Izuku began his ultimate mumbling. Alright, let's undo my steps. Ishido and I bought some clothing for the show of Devilish Diver that I would go with Jiro, and I met her in the entrance of UA, and then Izuku's head started to hurt. Oh ow. Izuku said as he rubbed his skull. Already awake, darling? He heard a sweet female voice next to him. He turned his head to the side and met eyes with a maternal-looking Najire Hado, who had relaxed eyes and pink cheeks that resembled a true lustful girl. Hado senpai, what is going on shhh? She said as she placed her finger in his lips to block him from saying anything. Didn't I tell you to call me Najire, Izuku? Najire said with a great smile. Senpai. What are you talking about? Izuku said while trembling a bit and proceeded to move out of the bed. Najire Hado's happy face became an unsatisfied looking face with puffed cheeks. Before Izuku could leave the bed, she drew first blood and immobilized him on the bed, her hands holding his wrists and her bare breasts blocking his chest. Stop making these jokes, Izuku. It's rude to do this to your senpai, you know. Najire said with a smug on her face. But senpai. I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember anything, I'm serious. I think I'm gonna. Najire's smug faded as she noticed Izuku's panic was real, her face became a concerned one. Calm down, Izuku. Talk calmer. I could if you weren't with your breasts and naked body on me. Izuku screamed. Stop lying, you don't climax that fast. How do you know about these stuff? And where am I? How did I ended up with you in this bed? What the hell happened? Izuku began screaming all questions he could think of. And I thought my constant personality of asking too many things was annoying. But, wait, he wasn't even that shy last night. It's like his personality suddenly changed overnight. Could Izuku be a werewolf? Or something? Najiro Hado thought. Izuku. Do you really don't remember anything last night? Hato asked. No. No, I don't. I mean when I try, my head hurts a lot, and I know. I know, don't try much then, I'll help you remember. Hato said as she released Izuku. Both teenagers were now sitting on the bed with extreme intimate distance. And Izuku was doing his best to not look at her boobs. And Nijire wanted Izuku to look at her boobs. Alright, I suppose Hato-senpai knows something about all of this, I'm the one that slept with her after all. Right. Man, coming to think about it. I just got laid. I just lost my virginity and I don't remember a damn thing about it. Izuku mentally screamed again. So, Hato-senpai ho Nijire, call me Nijire. So, and Nijire, how did I end up here? What do you mean? I mean in the bed, with you. In your bedroom, Izuku said as his face blushed even more. Izuku, this isn't my bedroom, this is a motel, and you were the one who brought me here. And Nani Izuku, once again, mentally screamed. Wa know that's can't impossible I'm, not help poof. Steam released out of Izuku's face as he faded after having a mental breakdown. He overthought so much his body stopped responding like an old and rusty engine. And eventually he stopped thinking. Izuku, wake up. Please. Nijire said as she invaded her lover's personal space even more, bringing her face exactly in front of his. Izuku, earth to Izuku. Where is your restart button? Nijire analyzed Izuku's face by poking his head. Does he really forget everything so easily like that? Oh. It can't be. He looks so handsome being the maledom type of guy. I've never met one like that. He looks so shy but then becomes a total badass when I teased him last night. Is he really a werewolf or maybe he has a double personality? Nijire thought as she helped Izuku by resting his head on her bare lap. Wake up, Izuku. Mom? What time is it? Izuku asked with his eyes spinning like a roulette. I'm not his mom. But I'll play along. Nijire thought. Izuku. You slept too much. You are late for school you dirty boy. Nijire said while attempting not to laugh at her own statement. More. 5 minutes. No. Time doesn't stop. Get dressed and go to UA right this moment. Because we're actually late, I need to go to work fast and you need to go to UA. And I don't think you can explain the situation to your teachers. What are you waiting for? The clock is ticking young man. Nijire finished her statement. Oh crap we're not in the weekend. Izuku screamed as he quickly removed his head from Nijire's lap, but knocked her out as the young man's attempt to leave the female's grasp resulted in his head being slammed against hers. KO. Why Ninjire had a senpai. Izuku stumbled as he gained amnesia again. I killed senpai. Izuku screamed internally. I'm fine, Izuku. Nijire said while holding up a little nosebleed. But why are we at your bedroom anyway? Why am I naked? Why are you naked? Here we go again. Nijire thought. In fact if they stayed inside the motel longer, Izuku was just going to get amnesia over and over again, she had to bring him out of here somehow. Use it again. Izuku. You should take responsibility. Nijire said while making a cute face. F for what? Izuku said while blushing. You got me pregnant, Izuku. Nijire said. And she lied. Wow but I wouldn't I impossible can't that's help poof. Izuku fainted again. Good, now time to dress him up and get out of here as fast as I can. Nijire thought and began making her plan. Midoriya Izuku has lost his virginity Where am I? Izuku said out loud and searched his surroundings. What a familiar and uncomfortable ceiling. He was in recovery girl's office. Good, you woke up young man. He heard the voice he most heard every time he jumped into action. Did I defeat him? Is everyone safe? Is everyone alright? This time your fight wasn't against a villain, nor it was a fight, but you better be able to be prepared for the incoming battle against Nijire's parents, your parents, the principal and All Might. Wait what? Good luck Nijire hasn't told anyone yet else than me, but it is only a matter of time until the school discovers and the information be made public. So you better make up a good lie for what you've done in the meantime yesterday. Huh? What are you talking about? Izuku asked. Young people, always acting dumb. Well, I was just like you. Now shoo. Recovery. Earl said as she demanded Izuku out of her office. Izuku left her office. He was wearing the UA gym clothing in a perfect state. It wasn't ripped not dusted, almost as if he put it on during his sleep. It was 2:45 p.m, classes end at 4 p.m, he must have lost a lot of periods. But what happened anyway? There you are Midoriya. A blue blur suddenly appeared in front of him. Iida-kun. I need your help Iyyuhh how could you? I trusted you as an honest person. Iida almost yelled. What are you talking about? How come you not remember? You womanizer. Womanizer Iida what are you talking about you playboy? Spending a night with a woman and then forgetting everything the day after. What? Izuku blushed. Well, I'll see you later, Midoriya Iida said, but before he could leave, Izuku grabbed him. Iida, please. You're the only one who can help me out. I don't remember anything, my mind hurts every time I think. I can't remember anything about last night, not even last week. Not even last month. Please help me out, Iida. What? You don't remember even last month, Izuku Midoriya. You lost critical subjects we learned from Izawa's class then. That's not the point, please help me remember what happened last night. It's becoming an enigma even I can't figure, and nobody will ever tell me a damn thing about it. Izuku cried. Even though Izuku Midoriya's actions that were monitored by Tenya Iida's many methods of localizing his classmate made him look like the biggest womanizer in UA, he would never pass on the chance of helping a friend, especially the one who helped him against a hero killer stain. Fine, come with me, Midoriya. Tenya said. Fine. Both men made their way towards the class. Of course, he had to finish the remaining periods, after all he was dealing with the most exemplar student of UA's second year. But one thing that bothered him, the looks of Asui, Momo, Ashido, Achako, Jiru, Toru and literally the entire class looked at him differently. Time to analyze the looks. Denki looked at him with a thumbs up made by his right hand and a nerve sticking out from his forehead alongside a waterfall of tears dropping from his eyes. Mineta was looking at him like a betrayed puppy would look to someone. He was literally crying with the face of a child who had just been defeated for the first time. Bakugo was literally fuming while looking at him, like he wanted revenge or something. Mina Ashido looked at him with a curious face. And a smug. Tsuyu Asui avoided looking at him. Toru was unreadable. But he could see steam getting out of her as she was vibrating, she looked like a steam engine. Momo Yaoi Rozu had a new face that matched her fetish, he looked angry, mad, her eyes were a type of badass looking, with fire on them, while she maintained regular lips. She had a sadist face, one that would just be about to give a proper punishment to her slave. Achako Uraraka looked at him. With her usual good-to-go face, but something was different, she looked exactly the same, but Izuku could feel it. It wasn't only the sensation of a fiery demonic aura inside her, but he could literally feel something different inside her. Like thousands of souls screamed in terror and were suddenly silenced. Jiru Kyoka looked at him with some sad-looking eyes, with pink cheeks and a shy-looking face, also avoiding looking at him. Man, just what the hell did he do? And what in the world happened in that damned party? Class was over, Izuku Midoriya made his way to Tenya Iida to finally hear this story. This Midoriya is all of your whereabouts. Tenya Iida handed his friend his mobile phone showing all of the locations. Karakuin Hall Devilish Diver Concert Akiyasu's Girls 69 Rouse Classy Strip Club Raymade Cafe. A Takajuku Disco UA Dorms Mustafa Motel, what familiar names. And why? In the world. Have I gone to these places, Izuku said. That's what I ask. Man. Did anyone went alongside with me or your breaking dance skills, Midoriya? You never told me you could break dance. Mina said out loud. But I don't know how to break dance. Tenya Iida showed him a video of Izuku making a full breakdance at a Takajuku disco, simply outstanding. But something was off. Izuku asked Tenya to send him a screenshot of the dance. There it was. Izuku's eyes, they were different, when zooming in the face, they looked a lot more mature. And somewhat challenging, like he was a lot more optimistic and cool, handsome and am I falling in love with myself, but he knew one thing, that wasn't him at all, something about him in that picture felt wrong, he could see that his face was somehow calling, in a romantic way. No, Izuku was never romantic, whoever was in that picture was an imposter. Damn, but what would explain the fact that he successively seduced his senpai and got laid with her? Just what happened in that party. Izuku started to walk away and went back to his dorm. He entered his all-night-filled room and went over to his desk, he picked the notebook on it and searched through it. Something also seemed off about his desk, it was messy, like someone had moved the stuff. He picked his agenda and opened it, there, he read something quite shocking. Close your eyes. And it wasn't just shocking for someone to have written it there out of blue like an unfunny prank, it was his handwriting. His own handwriting, he wrote it there, he wrote a message for himself. There was something fishy about this, and he was going to find out. He slowly closed his eyes, and suddenly, he didn't felt like he was at the dorms anymore. He opened his eyes to find that he was somewhere else. It was dark, like he was inside a dark limbo with nothing. Was he? No. It can't be, he was inside the vestiges of One for All, but where were they? Oh, hello there, me. He heard a calm and confident voice behind him. Izuku immediately turned to see the creature. There, he saw an exact copycat of himself laid down in the limbo with a relaxed smile and eyes, which aimed for the upper part of the limbo. He was so peaceful and handsome, I'm not falling in love with myself. Of course you're not. His copycat said. Why, you can tell what I'm thinking. Yes, we share the same intelligence level and body after all. What? Ah, yes, but there is this small difference. What? The word what? Huh? What are you talking about? Why do you look like me? And what did you do? Geez, chill down mate, let me explain. I'm you. I can't see that. We have the same strength, intelligence, ideals, objectives and heart. However, unlike you, I have no limiters. Limiters. Yes, unlike you, who is insecure, afraid and shy, I remove these emotions that I call limiters, and in result, you have me. A better version of you. In romance. What? Romance. Yes, even though we do have the same mentality, we have different personalities. You, Izuku Midoriya, avoid romance because of the delusional reality that you'll find the love of your life because of that stupid letter, while I, romantic Midoriya, will live my youth to the very peak by getting laid with many girls as possible. What, are you insane? Yes, but in a cool. You said we have the same objectives and morals. I never ever considered getting laid like that. Of course you did, or better, I did it for you. Deep down you have the desire to get laid, you're just too pure to do so. So I, your second personality, have finally been able to rise and do the work for you. But, you took my virginity, not me, Najire. It does not matter. You used my body against my will. I am your will. No, you're not. Yes I am. I have the desires you avoid to look at. But I had been watching you for so long that I became different than you. While you were becoming stronger physically, inside your head I was becoming stronger mentally. I was just planning to make you stronger mentally. Because courage and attitude is what you lack. Izuku stayed silent, a second version of him took over his body and got laid with God knows how many women. But, while I was inside your head, I couldn't take over your body and make you a man. First because you were quirkless, and then I understood why act so weak and reserved, and during your entire first year at UA, One for All began growing stronger in your body. The vestiges became other souls who lived inside your subconsciousness, and with their aid, I took over your head, but with one condition. Izuku never thought he would be afraid of himself. During daytime, you take over, and during nighttime, I take over. Consider me your night shift. And this division has finally started. Because you were triggered during that party, and I am going to help you out to become a man. Just leave it with me, Izuku Midoriya. In a dark bar, a snow-pale skin. Colored girl with short curly light bluish hair with crimson eyes rested in the balcony of some sort of bar. She had some sort of cute-looking face that she blocked with a deceased hand. Her real hand stood as a support for her chin, that showed she was very tired. Are you worried about Midoriya, young master? A purple mist wearing a suit asked the young girl. I hope the drug took effect. Otherwise his personality wouldn't change. But I still doubt it though. But for curiosity, why did you want to use the villain transformer specifically of Izuku Midoriya, young master? Even though her face was hidden under the hand, the answer was under the visible parts of her face. Which were entirely red out of embarrassment. It's none of you business Kurogiri. Continue to wipe that cup clean, damn it. The female villain lost it at the purple mist. But I just want to, it's not that I like him or anything like that. I just want to the female villain became speechless because she could not think of an excuse. This girl was known as Tomoko Shigaraki, the leader of the League of Villains, who apparently is secretly in love with Izuku Midoriya and wants to turn him into a villain at all costs so she could marry him. Yes, the future symbol of terror is in love with the future symbol of peace. Luckily, her drug failed, leading our friendly Izuku having a double personality. They should have saved the drug for another time, not when he was overdosed on liquor by some recently graduated senpai in a party. I'm weak, I'm too weak, I wouldn't let my dear Deku get in the hands of another woman. But that party yesterday. How did I fail? Deku-kun's words were just too persuasive. He never talked like that. Ichako Uraraka talked to herself on her bed while rethinking her mistakes at that show. Ichako Uraraka would never reveal her bedroom to anyone, mainly because of this simple fact. All the walls on her apartment consisted on one single figure. Many pictures and drawings of one single human being, green messy hair, round eyes and freckles that combined formed the innocent face of Izuku Midoriya. Ichako's entire bedroom was like Izuku's, but instead of idolizing All Might, she idolized the physical form of Izuku Midoriya. Her entire bedroom only had photos of Izuku Midoriya. She had an unhealthy obsession with our harem protagonist, she was a Yandere. But, leaving the heavy consciousness aside, Ichako got up from her bed, it was time for classes. You Student Council President Momo Yaoirozu, you called me didn't you? Midoriya asked as he entered the room. Oh please. Take a seat, young Izuku. Yaoirozu said. Midoriya, dumbfounded by the name, proceeded to analyze Yaoirozu's face, her predatory eyes and lustful face, giving him the impression she was holding her laughter, she was definitely planning something. Okay. Just spread it out Yaoirozu, what do you need? Izuku asked already seeing the perverted desire in her eyes. Oh, I went to your bedroom yesterday, wait you what, let me finish slave. So, as I was saying, when you were having your amazing time with your women wait, did you just say woman, but in plural? Like I said, let me finish. Yayoi Rozu cut Midoriya off. So it wasn't just Najire Hato who I got laid, no. She could mean I may have spent time with other women too much. Well, I don't remember anything last night, so I'll have to do my best to find how I gained my second personality. So, as I was saying, I went over to your dorm and found this. Yayoi Rozu said as she lifted a very familiar piece of clothing with a letter on it. Oh shit, no. Izuku internally said in shock. Care to explain this, Midoriya? Izuku. Yayoi Rozu stared at Midoriya lifting the panties and letter that were sent by the future love of his life. That's a. Izuku Midoriya couldn't think of a lie, could he? There are no excuses. I'm not stupid, Midoriya. This whole time you were looking for the one who bribed you with their intimate clothing, and now you are looking for her. What a pervert. Momo said while holding her mouth with her hand. Hey, it's not like hey. You say I'm the pervert, but you were the one who entered my bedroom without my permission, didn't you? Well. Precisely, I had to sacrifice my dignity as the student council president to enter your room after Ichako Uraraka had invaded for some reason, and it happened that I found this. So, in my theory, it could have been Ichako who sent that letter, correct? Yes, she was one of the people that could have sent the letter that I suspected, but there are some other candidates remaining as well. And those would be? Why do you want to know so badly? Midoriya Izuku, after the day you gave me a moral lesson when I revealed my sadist fetish for you, you triggered something in me. You inspired me to help you help other teenagers who have boiling hormones they can't contain. And that's why I wanted to help you face perverts that might appear along the way. Because Tsayu almost ate you alive that one time, remember? Of course, why would I forget? So, who are the remaining candidates, Izuku Midoriya? From what I know, Jiru Kyoka, Toru Hagakure and Ichako Uraraka might still remain in my list. I see, then, changing the subject, I need you to go to the support course with me. It seems that the student Mei Hatsume has been sexually harassing students way too often. I wanted to start from her. Mei Hatsume. Sexually harassing students, Izuku thought, remembering what happened with him when he begun to invent his shoot style and Hatsume started to touch him in an intimate way. It happened to other students, of course. So let's get going then. I have been hearing way too many complaints about her. Sure. Meanwhile, the once big sis of Class 1B, who's currently the class rep of Class 2B, was in the girls' locker room. UA had let the students from 1B have the school pool for training and exercising, but even though she held the title of the class rep, there was no problem in fooling your teachers and having a relaxing day at the pool. The orange-haired girl finished wearing her red bikini and proceeded to go to the pool. The entire class was there. It was time for some long and fun day. Or so she thought. Oh ho. Your muscles became even harder this time, Midoriya Izuku. An intimate and chaotic voice came from inside the small storage room that was located in the pool. Itsuka Kendo noticed the rest of the class didn't notice and approached to take a look. What are you doing, Hatsume P, please? Not from what she was hearing, a female individual was having sexual intercourse with Class 1 Izuku Midoriya. Someone is getting laid with Izuku Midoriya again. I've heard the rumors about him getting laid with hundreds of women in one night. I thought it was just rumors, but apparently, they were true. He does get laid often. Itsuka Kendo internally said, putting her head closer to the door of the pool storage room. You know, Izuku, I'm well aware we talked about not letting desires get in the way, but I can't resist the current situation. I apologize, but I will share my feast with Mei Hatsume. That voice. It can't be. Yeah, Momoshi fell for Midoriya's madness too, and the girl is Mei Hatsume. He is having a threesome in the school, no dignity. Itsuka Kendo opened the door a bit to see some sort of weird invention inside the messy room. First, a giant machine with a hole on and a pipe on top of it. The pipe was quite large, a human could fit in it, and then, the pipe does a 90-degree turn that made the contents inside of it fall on a table. The table contained a large cake that was probably dropped by the pipe, and inside the cake laid an immobile, fully molested Izuku Midoriya, who looked like he was about to be finished being eaten. Is that Midoriya? Damn, he is being dominated by two girls. Why does this feel so sexy? Itsuka thought as she proceeded to put her hand inside the lower part of her bikini. Oh well, no one should blame her for seeing such a lecherous act live. But maybe she was forgetting about something. Kendo. What are you doing? A monotone female voice scared her, making her remove her fingers from her intimate part. K Kadai. I was just, Kendo couldn't think of a better excuse to escape her courtier friend Yui Kadai. Luckily, the others were distracted by a Tetsu grilling some eggs with his metal body boiling hot below the sun. Masturbating to Mei Hatsume and Momo Yayoi Rozu raping Izuku Midoriya. Yes, wait, no. Where do you take that from? I would never, don't worry. I was about to do that too. Wait. You. Actually. Masturbate. Yes, I do. In fact, very often. Just because I share no personality traits does not mean I can't get horny, Kendo. Yui's serious monotone voice makes her sound like she's lecturing Kendo. Well. So what should we do? Pretend that we succeed in being proper human beings and save Izuku Midoriya. Good. I think that should do. Kendo busted the door open, alerting Hatsume and Yaoi Rozu about their exposure. Yeah, Momo. Quit taking advantage of Midoriya. What? Kendo, but we weren't even no buts. This types of actions must not be told, as making cakes at school with a machine a crime already. At least it lasted longer than my other inventions. Am making cakes? Itsuka asked confused. Mei Hatsume got up and lifted Midoriya out of the cake. I was inventing a machine that makes giant cakes based on what we put inside the machine. I decided to show these two how good the cake stays. But apparently Midoriya fell inside and mixed himself with the cake. I see, and because Midoriya looked like a feast inside your predatory eyes, you decided to eat him alongside the cake. Yui said in a monotone. Mei Hatsume looked at Momo. Are you a cannibal, Yaoi Rozu? Izuku Midoriya and Momo Yaoi Rozu entered late inside the classroom. May I ask why were you too late? Aizawa asked the two teenagers. We were discussing some important matter, Professor. I see, just sit down somewhere and please do not talk. Both teens proceeded to make their ways towards their assigned seats, but before Izuku could sit on his chair, Aizawa pulled the collar of his shirt and whispered in his ear. I want to talk to you after class. After a very nice class about terminal velocity and many fatphobic jokes. What do you want to talk about, sensei? Midoriya asked his teacher with both being alone in the classroom. Midoriya, what's your trick? What? Your trick? What tricks did you use? Tricks? What are you talking about? Don't make a fool out of me. What kind of catch-up lines did you use? What are you? Aizawa slammed his table with anger. No teenager can get laid with 12 different women in one night. What? Midoriya, what kind of tricks did you use? What? Midoriya. What kind of tricks did you use? What? What kinds of tricks did you use? What? That afternoon, Izuku Midoriya had to leave the classroom with his ears bleeding from an ear rape level voice from his teacher, whom he did not understand the topic of the conversation. Midoriya entered his dorm and laid on his bed expecting a very soft bed. But instead he didn't felt the fur of his large All Might covers, but warm flesh below his chest. What is this? Midoriya thought as he begun to analyze the object under his bed. It had flesh, it felt like skin, and he noticed he was a few inches away from his bed. It was invisible. He started to use his hands to analyze the body under him, and he pressed a very soft thing. It felt like a warm stress ball of some sort. What is this invisible thing? Suddenly, the anonymous object released a pro-erection moan. Chadomat. Oh well. Izuku Midoriya was currently on top of Hagakure-san. Meanwhile in the teacher's room, Aizawa was searching many videos and websites that taught him how to be good in bed. Although, he could only endure 3 seconds on climax and it was over for the day. How in the world did a 16-year-old teenager satisfy 12 women in one night? At least I get to endure Ms. Joke's 2-second climax. Aizawa said in defeat. In the entirety of Izuku's life, he had never been to crowded events else than hero events and his usual nerd stuff. He would never be used to seeing so many people gathering in one place and partying like no tomorrow. It's quite intimidating on your first time, isn't it, Midoriya? Jiru asked, giggling at her friend's shocked expression on seeing the first party in his entire life. Yeah. The music is too loud. But I think I'm getting used to it. Midoriya replied. What? Jiru yelled. I said, the music is too loud. What? Jiru yelled again. Apparently, because Kyoka's quirk gives her better hearing, the loud music and voices wouldn't let her hear Midoriya's voice. It was because of this that she loved parties, that was no one trying to talk to her. At the same time she was in a social place, she was deaf and positively alone, it was truly relaxing to her. And while both teens were jumping in pleasure, a black-haired ponytail girl dressed in a ridiculous overdressed outfit was observing the two with fuming jealousy. How dare you, Kyoka? That is my slave you are treating like that. Give him back to me. And then, Yaoi Rozu analyzed her whereabouts and found many familiar people there. A white mannequin-looking girl with tons of makeup, it was Toru trying to hide the fact she's invisible. A brown chocolate-haired girl with pink cheeks dressing up like a complete normal person for any party, but the soul inside her was one of a demon, and her ambition was enough to conquer the heavens. It was just a Chaco. And a pink-skinned and haired girl who wore funky clothing and was having fun with many people. It was Mina. Another black-haired girl wearing party-alike clothing and had large hands and feet, Asui obviously. The 5 girls looked at each other and realized their presence, and then gathered alongside. The first to speak was a Chaco. So, be completely honest. Who came here for Deku and who came here for the music? Both. Mina answered. Midoriya Toru responded. Midoriya, Kiro. Sayu Asui answered. Izuku Momo answered. Momo Yaoi Rozu, you have addressed Deku by his first name, you have the right to. Before Ichako could finish her sentence, the 5 girls were found by their targets. W.O. Yamomo, Uraraka, Ashido, Su and Toru, what are y'all doing in here? Jiru asked. Kyoka, because of your lecherous acts towards my Izuku I will. Yaoi Rozu was cut off by Ichako. Dear Izuku, you've done it, Yaoi Rozu. We're deciding this on our fists. Ichako said as she assumed a kung fu fighting stance. Don't bring me to your ground, commoner. You have the right to remain quiet, you have no power to interfere with my beloved slave. A pink aura started to flow through Ichako. Midoriya Izuku will never be yours. Your lecherous desires will never truly reach his heart. Because it belongs to me. Then, let me take that heart for me. Momo and Ichako jumped at the same time at the air, assuming an airborne kicking pose, both collided in the air and went through each other, just like an 80s fighting animation. Uraraka fell on the ground defeated. Yaoi Rozu was a lot stronger than her, but why? How? How are you so powerful? Ichako asked Yaoi Rozu, who didn't even know how to use martial arts properly. Ambition. What truly gives power to a woman in this world is ambition. My ambition for Midoriya is greater than yours. Impossible. Ichako said as she fainted. Uraraka-san. Midoriya yelled as he lifted his friend's unconscious body. That was quite a fight back there, even Midoriya had no admitted, even though he was the strongest between the 7, was ambition truly what gives humans power? Either way they had to explain to the cops that the incident was nothing to worry about. But getting back to the point. Izuku had been dragged to a local silent restroom and tied to a toilet, and the 6 girls were looking at each other, trying to compete for their male. Look, can you please let me go? Midoriya said weakly. No. All the girls yelled at the same time. Midoriya, why didn't you tell me about this? Jiru asked her friend. About what? You have a harem. And that's disgusting. All the girls looked towards Jiru in disgust. Kyoka-san, we would never share Izuku. He will only belong to me. Yaoi Rozu declared her dominance over Midoriya. Deku doesn't belong to you. He belongs to me. I just wanted to see who Midoriya liked, Kiro. He deserves better. I want to make sure none of you ruin Midoriya's purity. Toru said. And I want to make sure Midoriya ruins his purity. Mina said. I see. But still. How can you accept such thing, Midoriya? Jiru asked. I don't. That's the point. Midoriya screamed. Wow. So. You. Have a Yandere harem of some sort? Yup. It took a while for Midoriya to get out, since there were more people entering the restroom, which was in fact the female restroom, it would be a chaos. So after they untied Midoriya, he ran away like a rat, and now he lost himself in the crowd. Oh man. There are so many people here. Izuku Midoriya walked through the crowd hoping to find a place to rest, but when he distanced himself from the crowd, he felt a hand grabbing the back of his neck. Don't move. A female strict and dominant voice echoed behind him. Why you are? Tomoko. Midoriya recognized the being that was holding him hostage. Who told you could address me by the first name why you baka? Tomoko. Screamed a bit, losing her villain personality completely and replacing it with the good old tsundere. But isn't that your name? That's my first name, you idiot. Address me as Shigaraki. Shigaraki. You okay. So what do you want from me? Shigaraki. I need you for something. And that is. HMMPF. Tomoko proceeded to pout. She couldn't speak what she wanted. You said you needed something. Midoriya asked. Why am I sympathizing with her? She's my goddamn enemy. Please become a villain with me, Yubaka. She yelled. Everybody around heard that. Tomoko Shigaraki realized her actions were said out loud and her social anxiety got the best of her. Her cheeks were pink and then she stabbed Midoriya with an injection of God knows what. Wah. I feel bizarre. Midoriya whispered in his breath. Tomoko let him go and left the scene. Izuku Midoriya started to experience a bit of nausea and started to walk weirdly, like he was somewhat drunk. His head hurt, his body hurt, but most importantly, he almost couldn't be on his feet. The young hero went to the bartender table and sat on one of the chairs, scratching his neck, the place Tomoko stabbed him with. May I get you something, kid? The bartender asked. Midoriya found himself incapable of answering his question, it's almost if he forgot how to speak. Was he having a migraine? Because it really felt like it. And suddenly someone showed up. Whoa. Midoriya, is that you? A long, cyan-haired young woman showed up next to him. That girl was his upperclassman Najire Hado, who had sat next to him in concern. Hado senpai Yasu. The upperclassman sat next to him and ordered a drink to the bartender. And what about you, boy? If you're going to stay here then at least order something. The bartender repeated. Midoriya. Are you alright? Nijira asked the blitzed boy. Hey bartender, give him a cup of beer. It's on me. What beer? The cheapest. Hato gave him the cup of alcohol, he drank it all. When his body finally digested it, a smile grew on Deku's face. Ah, and that's how I got into your head. Midoriya's inside ego, or his second personality, told him. Great story, second me, but instead of giving me these stories can you at least help me get her body on a safe place, Midoriya internally said, while attempting to hold the naked body of Toru Hagakure. Wait. Put her in a safe place, aren't you going to eat the prey on your bed, what? No. I would never do that. And plus, what if she's injured? Injured? Well, that's a serious issue. I ain't no necrophile so I don't eat dead prey. Toru. Wonder what happened to her? Maybe she got injured and the only place she could go was to my bed to search for help. She must be in pain. Of course she is. Seeing her love being taken away by your harem must be really bad. She came here to smell your bed. Or something like that. Why would she do that? Duh. She jerked off to you in the goddamn bathroom stall. But. She's not that type of person. Ahem. Your harem is entirely consisted of thirsty yanderes. Of course she would try something like this eventually. Okay. Leave the investigation aside. What do we do with her? Munch. No. And by the way, remember that I told you that I would take over overnight. Yeah. But you promised you wouldn't try anything funny. Oh no. Relax. I won't get laid with any new women. No. I don't think you understand. I don't want you to get laid at all. Why not? Because we share the same body. And I don't want you to do stuff I don't like. Oh. So you don't want to get laid. What a soibo, because I wanted to have my first time with someone special. And that same experience would be under my consent and my consciousness. Oh. You mean the girl that gave you her panties? Yep. Ahahahaha. Dude, just let go of her, shut the fuck up. You goddamn cuck. Hey, don't call me that. Let's just get this over with. Returning to reality, Deku found Toru's legs and held her bride's style. But apparently, she was not asleep at all. Midoriya. Hagakure-san, Midoriya said while blushing. What? What are you doing? In my bed, I need to talk to you. Can you please come to my bedroom? Sure. But can't it be here? No. It must be there. Please. Remember Midoriya. Grab her invisible ass. Shut the fuck up. Midoriya was expecting a girly bedroom, but instead, it looked like a bedroom for a boy. Except for some cameras. For some odd reason. The place looked like a Pornhub set. Oh shit. Ooh shit. Ooh oh shit. Ooh shit. Midoriya. Can you please sit down in that bed? Deku made his way over to that bed and sat in it. Like this. Toru made his way towards him and proceeded to articulate him like an action figure. No. More casual. Like this. Toru guided him and gave him a comic book, like he was reading something. Then, the invisible girl placed some nerd glasses and worn him a casual civilian clothes. Toru, what is this? Just wait. Let me get my camera ready. No, what is this? Answer me now. Midoriya demanded. Okay. You can't come out now, Todoroki. Toru said. Oh no, Midoriya. My homo senses are yelling. This is a gay porno. What? It's a gay porno. It's a gay porno. Midoriya. Run now, damn it. Be butt. No butts. Unless you want your butt invaded. Your butt is my butt and I don't want anything in there. And then, the alpha male entered the facility. Todoroki was shirtless with only a towel blocking his naked body. Todoroki. What are you doing? Midoriya. Don't get this personal. I'm only following orders. What? Todoroki. You are gay. What's a gay? Ha he doesn't know. And then, Toru snapped. God damn it, Todoroki. I trained and practiced the lines with you. You are meant to ignore him and all of his demands. And then grab his virgin ass and rape it. Oh ho. Midoriya, she thinks you're passive. Ahahaha. You are not supposed to say anything else than the lines I told you. You are meant to accomplish my fetish. And then, Midoriya proceeded to have the female bathroom stall flashbacks. Yes, the one in chapter 2. So this is Toru's complex fetish. Huh? She's a Fujoshi. She ships gay characters in fictional series and has no interest in the actual story. And yes, she's a Tododeku fan. But this is a male fantasy. And Midoriya ain't gay. So she was keeping me away from girls because she wants me to be gay. Not because she likes me or anything. Out of the list. Yup. Out of the list. Toru Hagakure. Retired. Now Midoriya, let's get out of here. This one. How am I supposed to help her out of this? Oh. So you are still playing main character? Well, purify her fucking soul. No main character speech is going to eliminate that damned feety, everyone has their fetishes. My job is to help them control it. All I need to do is convince her I'm not gay, right? Can't be that hard. Yes. But you're the type of person that has a hard time proving you're straight. Leave that part with me. What makes me think you won't bang her? Don't worry. It'll be just some friendly teasing. No. I will not depend on you. Midoriya then leaped out of the bed and made his way towards Hagakure. Grabbed her, lifted her and yeeted her out of the window. Hey Midoriya. Why did you throw her? Todoroki asked. It's a method I thought that would be able to control these girls who were taken over by lust. The pressure of the wind and the sudden scare might snap them out of it. I see. Have a nice day. Same for you, and one more thing. What is it? No homo. No. Homo. Midoriya then jumped out of the window and landed on the garden outside. Unfortunately he had to spend the rest of the day looking for the naked body of Toru Hagakure. It was on the top of a tree, strangely enough. Midoriya left her in the nurse's office. He would talk to her later, even if she charged him with physical aggression, he had her at her mercy. He could charge her with sexual abuse. But whatever, he just had to wait. And when Midoriya stepped out of the office, his head bumped into two huge breasts. Oomph. Midoriya mumbled and tried to break out of the breasts, and when he did, he looked at the woman he just bumped into. Ara. Midnight, the R-rated hero said. Remaining candidates. Jiru Kyoka Chako Uraraka Extra Scenario. Todoroki made his way towards Mina Ishido. Hey Ishido-san. You are pretty experienced in teenage stuff, correct? The half and half boy said, what do you mean? Like, pop culture stuff and nerdy stuff. Well yeah. So please answer me something. What's a gay? Why you don't know? Well, I'll tell you. Being gay is when you are a male. And you like another male. Well, I like Midoriya. Does that make me gay? Well yes, but hey wait, you actually like Midoriya? Well, he's my friend. We should like our friends, correct? Well, yes, but you like Midoriya. He's my friend. I mean sexually. Sexually? You mean like having sex? No. I do not wish to engage in sexual relationships with Midoriya. Then you are not gay. Then what am I? It's up to you to find out. I feel sexually aroused by tell you parents about that. Not me. Sure. But what if my parents are gay? I mean. You have two dads. No. I don't have any dad. My old man is an asshole. Oh. I see. Shouldn't you tell your mother? I don't know. Do you think my mom knows about this stuff? Of course. She's your mom, dummy. She already lost her virginity. She can tell. She can. Wait, how can you know? Because she's married to your father. She gave birth to you. And in order for that to happen, she must have already lost her virginity at least one time in her life. What? But that's impossible. Does that mean that? My old man? No. That can't be right. What is it, Todoroki? My old man had sex with my mother. I will never forgive him. Bruh. That motherfucker. Bruh. That's it guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. With that, take care.